Good evening, Trade Flare family. Welcome back to the nightly breakdown, where we break down what happened today in the stock market, as well as give you an idea of what we're looking at into tomorrow. Now, before we head over to conduct a technical analysis of the SPY and 5 stocks, let's look at some key points to get a broader view of where we stand. So for the first key point, talking about tech and growth, again, we had a low volume day, but tech and growth still led. As far as the industries within tech, we saw semiconductors have a really good day today. We also saw software companies take off, but like I said, overall the market had low volume today. In the New York Stock Exchange, there was more volume traded in down stocks than there was up stocks today. In the New York Stock Exchange, we had more stocks decline today than we had advance. In the Nasdaq, it was the opposite. So like we've been talking, the Nasdaq and tech has been leading, so keep your eye on that, especially the chip makers and the software companies, especially the ones related to crypto and or cybersecurity. For the next key point, I want to talk about the Delta variant and kind of how it's been sweeping over the European continent. Investors are actually starting to talk about it. We're seeing these travel stocks react, we're seeing vaccine stocks react, so I want to keep my eye on this and see if this will escalate, and I want to see if more volume flows into these vaccine stocks. They could be a nice opportunity. Next, let's head over to our last key point, which is, as always, our sectors and our indices. Like we said, the Nasdaq was the leading index today, but all 3 indices closed positive. If you don't count the Russell, the small caps, which closed down about 0.5%. The Dow and the S&P both didn't really go anywhere, both closing barely positive. As far as the leading sectors, tech, consumer discretionary, and healthcare all closed positive. On the downside, we had utilities, communications, and energy leading. And notice those emerging markets didn't really go anywhere. I still want to keep my eyes on those. So now that we have a broader idea of where we stand, let's head over to do a technical analysis of the SPY ETF, which tracks the S&P 500 index. And looking at the daily here, we have an indecision candle at all-time highs. We have low volume, and this candle this day is not really telling us much about the direction, but the fact that we held up with low volume is telling us that sellers aren't really trying to take this thing lower yet. To take this thing lower, they're gonna have to get in front of the tech sector, which has really been hot. If we're gonna go higher, it's probably gonna be thanks to healthcare. Healthcare's been kind of steady here, and it does have a decent amount of weight, so watch out for that. Next, let's head over to the watch list, starting off with Dell, ticker symbol DELL. Looking at the daily, huge bullish engulfing off of the 50-day SMA, lots of volume. We've recently respected this support trend line. Remember, the tech sector is bullish right now. These hardware companies started to pop today. I think this one could head up to 103, 104 tomorrow, or towards the end of the week. If we get the break of that level, this play could be really nice. This has a lot of volume. It's got a lot of momentum right now. It's kind of been bouncing around here, so it could be ready to move again. So watch out for Dell. Next up on the watch list, I'm watching Novavax NVAX. This is one of those vaccine plays, and this is one that supposedly works on the Delta variant, or there's at least been news that it has a high effectivity on the Delta variant, and they were up 7% today. And notice this resistance trend line, the touches to it is getting closer and closer. If I pull this thing out to the weekly, this is just a huge bull flag. I want to potentially play the break of this resistance trend line up to 227.80. If these vaccine stocks start to break out, and if this one really gets some steam, I think we'll see 263 after that. So definitely keep your eye out for Novavax going into the month of July. Next up on the watch list is Snapchat, and I really like this one, and the reason being is the old resistance we are now respecting as new support. If we do get some more buyers, I think we could go back to $70 and then all-time highs. Snap's a great stock with a lot of long-term investors. It's also a growth stock and a tech stock, so it's been doing really well right now. Definitely keep your eye out for Snapchat. Next up on the watch list is Taiwan Semiconductor. Looking at the daily chart, coming from a recent downtrend, but overall this is a bullish stock long-term. And looking at this pattern here, we have 3 uneven lows telling us we have a reverse head and shoulders, which is a reversal pattern coming from a recent downtrend. Our neckline here is at 127.35. If we first get there, we're gonna have to take out some sellers at 121.57. The volume's solid, and this industry is doing really well. And being a semiconductor company and being from an emerging market, I really like Taiwan Semiconductor, so keep it on your watch list. Next up on the watch list is a member suggestion looking at Fisker. We looked at this one last week, and today, looking at candle structure, this is a bearish engulfing candle, and as it looks right now, we probably could go lower before the end of the week. And if you're looking to go long on this for a short squeeze possibility, because this has a lot of hype and a lot of short interest, look for some support on this dip. It could be a nice opportunity, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I like this play. I don't tend to focus on the hype stocks, but it could be a nice opportunity. If we do break above 2066, look to go all the way up to 2387. That is the bottom of the gap here. And that wraps up tonight's nightly breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, if you gained value, or if you learned something, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you can get notified whenever we post any live or educational content. If you're looking to join our team and be surrounded and motivated by our online community of traders and investors, as well as gain access to trade signals that let you know whenever we make a trade, check out the link in the description below to join our Discord, gain full access by upgrading to TradeFlare Pro, get half off your first month using the discount code TFPRO2021. But don't be mistaken, we are not financial advisors and none of this is a recommendation. The stock market is risky and you could lose money, so use the information inside these videos at your sole discretion. And as always, you cannot forget that time is your most valuable asset, so quit wasting it. Get up, get out, and go get it, my friend.